Okay, Sparky.
All right. So I got the idea to write this because we just had a big news story about mosquitoes, and thinking that you guys should be hitting your rainy season, although snow is in the forecast. I know it's pretty bad. So deal with it.
Yeah, and I'm saying that to you, man. Deal with all that sunshine. Just deal with it.
I got to make sure to put my sunblock on, otherwise I'll get sunburnt.
Uh-huh.
All right, so listen. Here's how you get rid. Mosquitoes are annoying, but there are a lot of things you can do to keep the mosquitoes at bay, and they're not all about spraying yourself. So mosquitoes typically have a range of 1 to 3 miles. So
Okay.
that means they're somewhat localized, but that's a pretty good size radius. The Asian tiger mosquito, which is easy to identify because they are the ones with the little white stripes.
Okay.
So look at it just before you whack it. Um, but that has a range of only 300 feet.
What?
Yes. So mosquitoes often stay a short distance from where they emerge from their cocoons. So if you and your neighbors work together, you can probably decrease the threat of mosquitoes. So the one most everybody hears, eliminate standing water after it rains.
Uh-huh.
Mosquitoes can lay up to 300 eggs at a time, and the clusters are typically called rafts. Those eggs will hatch within 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
But the larvae and the pupa cannot survive without water.
Okay.
So if you get rid of the water, you're already in pretty good shape. Keep the gutters clean. No standing water. Make sure that they're pitched properly, right?
Yeah.
Clean your bird baths often. If you can't get rid of the water, if you put a thin layer of oil on the top, then they can't breathe, so they'll suffocate. But you don't want to use like motor oil. That's probably not a good idea.
So
You
what?
can try cinnamon oil,
Okay.
1 teaspoon per gallon of water, and you put that on top of on top of that water, and it's not going to hurt your pets, but
Okay.
the larvae can't breathe through it.
Okay.
Uh, they make these things. Oh, here, if you've got your own pond, some goldfish work pretty good. There's a few different fish species that will eat the larvae.
Well, like
That's a
minnows
big.
too, right?
Yeah, there's actually Collier County, Florida has a program where they raise mosquito guppies, and if you have a retention pond on your property or in your
Uh-huh.
subdivision,
Yeah.
you can go there and pick up bags of guppies.
Really?
Yep. And the fish are happy and you have no mosquitoes. There's a thing called a mosquito dunk. Have you ever heard of these? I never have.
It
It's a
sounds
mosquito
familiar.
dunk. A
What?
donut shaped thing, but it's a larvicide. And you throw them into the water
Okay.
and it will kill the larvae. And it says it's harmless to animals and people
How?
because it only hurts larvae. People don't ever hit the larvae stage.
What if a fish
Um,
eats it before?
I don't know. I'm just what I read. I saw it on the internet. It has to be true.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It probably does. I'm just
Right.
saying.
All right. Let me fly through these.
Okay, I'm
Keep
gonna
your
shut
grass
up.
cut. Mosquitoes rest in tall grass during the daytime, so if you keep your grass cut down, then you won't have as many hanging out. Grow plants that naturally repel mosquitoes. Lime basil,
Okay.
catnip, and thyme will all repel mosquitoes. So if you plant those at the perimeter of your property, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
All right. Female mosquitoes typically live from 42 to 56 days. This varies on species and
Wow.
stuff. The males, however, only live about 10 days.
There you
Now,
go.
even though the females live that long, they typically will only they will only lay one batch of eggs. So I don't know why they live so much longer,
What
but
are they
it is
doing the
what it is.
rest of the time? Just
Hanging
drilling
out,
us?
drilling us. All right, so here's something else. Mosquitoes, they don't live on blood. Mosquitoes typically feed on plant nectar and fruit juice. The males do not take blood at all. Only the females do. So they find warm-blooded meals by locating carbon dioxide and lactic acid from sweat. So they're not using your blood as food, but require a protein in your blood for the eggs to develop.
Wow.
So use a spray that's at least 20% DEET, and that'll keep them off of you.
Uh-huh.
But you shouldn't really use DEET on children, so you're better off using loose clothing. So let's move to traps, because everybody's seen mosquito traps. So a mosquito trap is just something that typically burns propane or whatever, and it creates carbon dioxide.
Okay.
So once you have the carbon dioxide, that's going to attract it. Um, in the United States, the attraction range is usually up to about 150 feet. And did you know there's 176 recognized species of mosquitoes in the United States?
Wow. No, I did
Yeah, I
not.
was all over the internet just finding all this stuff out from all over the place. It was actually some of it's pretty interesting. And some traps work better on certain mosquitoes than others, and there's no known reason why. Bug lights, those things I like. They attract by light,
Uh-huh.
right? And you can add an attractant. So they have these scented things you can put in the bug light. So I recommend you buy 2 of those
Yeah.
and give 1 to each neighbor. And I will keep the little suckers going to their house, be attracted, and your yard will be clean.
Yep.
And where do mosquitoes go in the winter? Some find holes in the ground, like your mulch, and they hibernate.
Really?
Most species lay their eggs in water as shallow as a half inch and die. The eggs will enter diapause, suspended, until it thaws. Boom, done.
Wow. All right, there you go. All right, we'll be back right after this.
This is Mighty House. Mighty House will return.
Citronella is the other one. Another
Yeah.
plant.